people like to go, oh, we have the TV person here. It's kind of cool. You're going to run a show in another 3 months or not? Or did you spend your money there on the wrong person? And someone who I think has made more money off of you and has continued to do so using this very platform is Jim Cornette. Have you made more money off of Cornette, or has he made more money off of you with your back and forth?
And Cornette makes a lot of money.
He does.
He makes a lot of money. He has a lot of merch on his stuff. He sells a lot of stuff. Like, people buy his dumb certificates that he puts out. Like, I am in the cult of Cornette, $30. And he just stays in his house and he does his podcast and he has his advertisers. And man, he makes a lot of money. And I wish I could make that money just sitting in my house. And I'm not an introvert like Jim Cornette,
but you steered into that, and you steered into other online things because I think you then know, like, hey, we can get something out of this. What's your thought process when that kind of stuff happens? When do you go, you know what, I am going to engage and see what I get out of this?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did, just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette, and I thought it'd be just to get into these. I'm one of the only people he actually has blocked because I got under his skin that much. But Cornette is Cornette. I do listen to the Cornette Experience, whatever, the drive-in, whatever. I listen to all the podcasts. I like to get a perspective, everyone's perspective on the current state of professional wrestling. I don't watch professional wrestling on TV. I haven't seen an AEW show, I'd say, in 4 years. I've watched a few WWE shows here and there. I've been to a couple of WrestleManias just because it fell on my lap, or if I'm just chilling, I'll watch the Royal Rumble. It's always fun watch.
Does anybody catch your eye on TV? Does somebody like you like to watch? If you're doing it all the time, does somebody go like, I want to watch what he's doing or she's doing or whatever?
I mean, like the Will Ospreys of the world and whatnot. They're just a different level right now and stuff. But everyone knows that. But of course, Gunther, his stuff must see. And he's and the way his match structure is so easy, and someone like that is someone like everyone should watch, even though if you're not a big guy like Gunther, less is more. If you want less is more, when they say less is more, everyone's like less is more, less is more. That is the definition, because that guy is just amazing wrestler. But yeah, I don't watch it all, but I follow. I'm on social media all day, and I listen to all the podcasts, so I kind of know what's going on through that type of realm of this business.
I like that, and I think it's good to get the perspective. It doesn't have to be about arguments. It's just, hey, here's what might work for this person versus this person. I always like doing market research of people who barely watch or why they saw something, and they go, oh, that person's cool. I mean, I don't agree with this opinion. I had someone go, I don't like AJ Styles. He's boring to me.
Yeah.
Like, okay, gotcha.
It's not – those people are not the worst is the followers of these little – the social media wars. It's like Cornette fans versus AEW fans, WWE fans versus AEW fans. This guy, Jim Cornette fans versus Vince Russo fans.
Yeah. They're all making money.
Every day.
Everybody's making money off it.
Yeah, they're loving it because they're all making money. But everyone just looks so stupid. And that's why wrestlers choose not to engage in that situation. But I know the way I interact and I engage with these people or these fans, that it's a different case, and I can get away with it. Of course, if I sign to WWE next month, I won't be able to do that anymore. I'm having fun with it for now.
I appreciate that. I think you always keep things interesting. I've never been bored by you. I think no matter what anybody has to say about you, they're going to be talking about you, and they'll be doing that this weekend. Final shot at the GCW title as part of the Tournament Survival Weekend for GCW. It'll be on Triller on Sunday. And make sure everybody goes out and checks out GCW because they are all over North America and going to Japan very soon. So make sure you check them out.
Back to England, too.
And England, Japan, an independent promotion typically based out of the Northeast. That is long in the past now. Joey's a big part of that. Joey, I appreciate you taking some time. Good luck with the allergies, and bring home that title home this weekend.
Thank you, pal. I appreciate it. And
You got it.
thanks,
There you
pal.
go. NXT did not see this coming, kept very quiet. Shout out to everybody involved. Roxanne Perez trying to find out who she's going to face at that UFC Apex thing in Vegas in front of, by the way, like maybe 1,000 people. So they are definitely trying something out there. And I am just going based on what WrestleTix put out there. But Roxanne Perez gets told by Ava she's wrestling Jordynne Grace, the TNA Knockouts champion. Here's a moment I did not expect to see. And I was kind of looking, going like, all right, so they had, they have a lot of people tied up in the North American title match. Is Cora back? No, that's too soon. Is it Nikita? Probably not. And then Jordynne Grace comes out. And Jordynne Grace gets a massive pop from that Performance Center crowd. And then there's a TNA chant, which is just so weird that there's that heavy of a TNA chant in the WWE Performance Center. Obviously, good business to me. Set up a match with Stevie Turner next week, and then Battleground. Jordynne, I will tell you, I won't say I was a massive Jordynne Grace fan at any point. That's just personal preference. Then I watched her in the Rumble, and I didn't know she was going to be in the Rumble. I'm watching that Rumble, and we're doing that BS bump reaction video, whatever, of watching everything. And that might have been one of my most genuine reactions of them catching, all of our reactions in that whatever the hell it was, viewing room. I was like, "Whoa, Jordynne Grace! Holy hell, that's fantastic!" And she jumped off the page. She looked like she belonged. They gave her time to shine, which I was a little surprised about. But you know what? Sometimes you want to foster those good relationships. You make that happen. WWE had all the leverage in doing that. Now, I do think it's interesting that happened under the Scott D'Amore regime. He's gone, but it has continued. So that means that Jordynne Grace, regime change be damned in TNA, impressed enough people that they bring her back. And she is on NXT television. And she is going to go champion against champion for the NXT Women's Championship at Battleground against Roxanne. There is something there with the pop she got to maybe considering something surprising. I don't think this Roxanne title reign has been anything special. It would shake things up. And it wouldn't hurt Roxanne if they're worried about, how are we going to develop her into a star? If Jordynne beat her in Vegas, that will continue the conversation and get people going. So I love that. I love the surprise. You know what? Just straight up, it was a nice surprise on wrestling. It wasn't hyped. You got natural reaction. I think the reaction on social was nice. I think just the idea of companies working together is going to get people excited. And there's a lot of politics in that. And that's why it doesn't happen that often. Everybody's calling for it. And obviously, you have Forbidden Door coming up. And that's different now to me because New Japan and AEW work so much in conjunction with each other. And there is a partnership. And the partnership goes beyond that pay-per-view. I also don't know if Forbidden Door has the same juice to it because Okada's in AEW. Will's in AEW. Mercedes was doing some stuff with Stardom. She's in AEW. I think we all know she was supposed to wrestle there last year. So, the New Japan star power is rebuilding right now. Whether, you still have Naito there. You have Sonata. You have Ren Narita. You have some of these names. Jungle Boy wrestled Sonata last year. I always liked Sonata, but I don't think that was this big eye-catching match of, the IWGP champion Sonata. Tough time for New Japan. The yen is down. Their president has talked about that. They don't want to be a feeder system for America. I get all that, but it's tough right now. I think the idea of companies working together sometimes is more exciting than when it actually happens. I mean, tell me, what's your New Japan dream matches right now for Forbidden Door? What would you be excited to see? The world champion, the IWGP champion, is Jon Moxley. He's already in AEW. I assume Tanahashi will work. I wonder, is this the idea more exciting than the actual pay-per-view itself? And they'll put on a good card. I just don't think it'll have that same forbidden door sense. Whereas Jordan Grace showing up in NXT is different. It's not something WWE does very often. TNA seems to be, even with this newer regime, open to doing those kind of things. I think they understand their space in the market. I think when they see, a former TNA person show up in another company, their social team's right on it. They're posting, hey, you just saw this guy show up in AEW. Here's all his matches in TNA. Samoa Joe just became the world champ. Oh, here's the best of Samoa Joe. That's very smart. That's TNA understanding where they fit. And, hey, we have a bunch of footage of this person who's on the tips of people's tongues in the wrestling world on social media. Let's go put our stuff out there. Grace Stampino. Shingo Mox. Sign me the hell up right now. Shingo, Mox, Danielson. I have been a massive Ishii fan forever. What's an Ishii match? What is our Ishii match? What would be fun there? Ooh, I got to think about that. Throw that out there. Who could face him? Who is an Ishii opponent in AEW right now you'd like to see? I got to think about that one. Throw me what you think in the comments. And if you don't know who Tomohiro Ishii is, you should go watch him because he has had some of the best matches of the last 10 years. He's a tremendous seller. And talk about somebody who throws his size out the window and wrestles about a foot bigger than he is. I got to think about that, what that match would be. Also on NXT last night, talk about not seeing this one coming. Trick Williams is in there and has the tag match and all that stuff. And doing the stuff with Lash. And all ego Ethan Page looking like $1 million, looking like he's exactly where he belongs, attacks Trick. There's an image I didn't expect to see. Are you kidding me? And to credit to another person, I will never say I was a massive Ethan Page fan until probably the last 6 or 8 months. He's dialed everything in about his look, about his presentation. Another guy who's great using his social media and his vlogs. And right there, you see him show up. He attacks Trick. It's a big deal. It's the right crowd to debut in front of. They're going to get it there. And I like the fact that he's there. And, the report was that he signed. And then he puts out a little 40-second video saying, listen, I'm not signed, but, I think I should be going after Trick. And NXT, if you want that to happen, you should pay me. Great stuff. I don't care if he's signed or not. He probably is. But you know what? Good. Play it up that way. Play it up that NXT has to acknowledge what you just did to their champion. Make that match a little bit bigger when we get there. It's always tough, though, when you debut somebody like that right into a championship match. Because if he loses, where does he go? How does that work, especially as a heel? Trick's a massive babyface. Ethan Page is the heel. Where do they go? Where do they go from there? How does he get that heat back if he loses? And if Ethan Page beat Trick Williams, let Trick chase for a little bit. I don't think that's a bad thing. But I liked it. It was a genuine, fun surprise last night from NXT.